The magical painting. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by tall mountains, there was a girl named Lily. Lily was kind hearted, friendly, and loved to draw and paint. Her family was poor, and they lived in a small cottage with a thatched roof. Despite their modest life, Lily was always happy and had big dreams. Her parents worked hard every day, but they could not afford to buy her new art supplies. So, Lily used old pieces of paper and charcoal sticks she found near the fireplace. She loved to sit by the window and draw pictures of the beautiful nature around her, the tall trees, the sparkling rivers, and the birds flying across the sky. One sunny afternoon, as she was walking in the forest near her home, Lily discovered something strange. There was an old, abandoned cabin covered with vines. It looked forgotten by time. Curious, Lily decided to take a look inside. When she stepped inside the cabin, it was quiet and dusty. The wooden floors creaked under her feet. In the corner of the room, there was an old wooden chest. Lily walked up to it and opened it slowly. Inside, she found a set of beautiful paints and brushes. They were unlike anything she had ever seen. Bright colors, shining like gems in the dim light of the cabin. There was also a note on the lid of the chest. These paints are magical. Use them wisely. Lily was amazed. She had never seen such beautiful paints before. Without thinking twice, she grabbed the brushes and paints and ran back home. At home, she could hardly wait to start painting. She spread out a clean piece of paper and dipped her brush into the vibrant red paint. She painted a small bird with bright red feathers, carefully adding every detail to the bird's wings and beak. As soon as she finished, something incredible happened. The bird on the paper started to move. Before Lily could even blink, the bird flew right off the page and fluttered around her room. It chirped happily as it circled the room. Lily was speechless. The magical paints were real. Lily quickly realized that whatever she painted with these magical colors would come to life. She could paint anything, and it would exist in the real world. Excited, she painted a basket of apples to give to her mother. The apples appeared in the basket, and Lily gave them to her mother, who was amazed. From that day on, Lily used the magical paints to help everyone in her village. She painted food for the hungry families, warm blankets for those who had none, and even flowers to make the village look beautiful. People came from all over the village to see her work and to thank her for her kindness. One day, while Lily was painting a field of sunflowers, a man from the city came to the village. He was a rich merchant who had heard about the girl who could paint things into existence. The merchant was greedy and wanted the magical paints for himself. "I want those paints," the merchant said. "I will pay you a lot of money for them. You can live in luxury for the rest of your life." But Lily smiled and shook her head. "These paints are meant to help others," she said. "I cannot sell them for money." The merchant was angry. "You are a fool! I will take them by force if I must," he yelled. With that, he tried to grab the paints from Lily. But Lily was quick. She dipped her brush into the paint and started to create. She painted a giant wall in front of the merchant, huge, tall, and strong. The merchant tried to climb over the wall, but it was too high. Lily stood calmly behind the wall and said, "The paints cannot be used for greed. They will only help those in need." The merchant was furious, but he could not do anything. He turned and left the village, never to return. As the years passed, Lily continued to use the paints to help the people in her village. She painted clothes for the poor, food for the hungry, and even toys for the children. Everyone loved her, not just because of her talent, but because of her generous heart. But one day, the magical paints began to lose their power. At first, Lily thought it was just a bad brush or maybe a little mistake. But soon, She realized that the paints no longer worked. The birds she painted didn't fly, and the flowers didn't bloom. Lily was sad, but she understood. The paints had only been magical because she had used them with love and care. She knew that the real magic wasn't in the paints, but in the kindness of her heart. Even though the paints no longer worked, Lily continued to help others in her own way. She taught the children of the village how to paint and create art, using the power of imagination and kindness.